Hi, my name is Guillaume Chansin and I'm a technology analyst at IDTechEx.
So what do you do?
Well, I cover different topics, mainly printed electronics, sensors, displays and wearable electronics now.
So there's a wearable conference right here. What's going to happen at the wearable?
Well, this is sort of new. We've put together a good program on wearable technology and we've invited a lot of good speakers, and what we really want to see is all the emerging technologies in the field of wearable electronics and wearable devices, and I think it's going to be very exciting because we're going to see new materials, new type of sensors, and also we have an exhibition with several booths dedicated to that topic.
So what's going on right now with the flexible displays?
Flexible display is very exciting. You know, people have been talking about flexible displays for a long time, and you know, in the past we've seen some e-ink displays that can be bent, but now you've seen all the big manufacturers, and they're making OLED displays, and these displays are going to be flexible. So there's a lot of money being invested now in the production of these displays, and this is going to be a reality for consumers. So yeah, very exciting.
Flexible LCD, is that possible?
You know, flexible LCD is not impossible, but technically it's very challenging, and probably you know, it would be too difficult to manufacture and something that's acceptable. So very unlikely to see a flexible LCD display.
But maybe there will be LCDs that are less breakable, unbreakable.
Yeah, I think that might be a reality. There's still some challenges, and you know, because liquid crystal displays they need a backlight, and so there's a lot of different challenges in making something which is not based on glass, based on plastic. But it's not impossible. So far, nobody has really.
So does that mean this is an opportunity for the OLED industry to go into flexible?
Yeah, it's a big opportunity, and to be honest, it's probably the major way to differentiate against an LCD panel, because LCD are not going to be flexible. So if you can make an OLED flexible, that's a really big differentiator. But the big question is the consumer that buy the device. Can they actually use the flexible display? Can they bend it? And that's going to be the big question.
And so which kind of other segments do you cover?
So a lot of sensors, and like flexible sensors, printed sensors, and different printed electronics as well. So
what are those sensors? Are they on the market, or is it for the future?
It's a bit of both. So some of them are quite recent, been recently commercialized, and they're not really targeted at the consumer markets. It's more for industrial use, but they are quite unique because of the fact that they are very thin and very flat and made on plastic. So it's quite a big departure from, you know, typical sensor technology that you might find elsewhere. And it's a different type of sensor. You know, you can have gas sensors, temperature sensors, or optical sensors.
Gas sensor?
Yeah.
Temperature sensor, optical sensor?
Yeah, yes.
And who's making those?
Well, we know all the companies involved. There are a few startups, and you know, they're quite pioneers in their field because no one has done this before. So you know, there's a few players.
All right, and what's the other stuff you talk about? Printed electronics.
Yes, printed electronics, wearable technology.
So, do you need printed electronics for wearable technology? I would like to see very, very thin and light smartwatches.
Yeah.
You need something new, no? New materials.
You need, yes. Right now, you know, the smartwatches are all made using quite conventional mobile phone technologies. So, you know, the same components that were developed for making your smartphones are now being packaged inside a smartwatch. But, you know, if in the future, if you want something that is much lighter, much thinner, you will have to get components that are made differently. And printed electronics is one way to do it. It's not the only way. But I'm, you know, for example, sensors. Smartwatch without sensors is not really useful because they are used to track your health, your fitness, and you need to get a lot more sensors on these things. So there'll be a lot of opportunities to develop new technologies.
So at the IDTechEx conference right here is an opportunity to see what's going to happen in the future.
Absolutely. The way we see this conference is it's an emerging technology event. So anything that is new and we think is going to be big in the future, we try to include it, and it's really interesting to have the combination of applications, materials, and devices all together in the same trade show.